2-week public hearing into the Titan submersible disaster is underway. Coast Guard officials seeking to uncover what caused the implosion that claimed 5 lives. For the latest, let's bring in former US Navy Chief of Staff William J. Parker in Silicon Valley. William, thanks so much for your time this morning. It's taken more than a year for this inquiry. Why so long? Does it speak to the evidence gathering process?
A year for something like this is not actually an extended period of time. I think they're doing a very thorough investigation on this, have been doing a thorough investigation on this, and they want to make sure that this doesn't repeat itself. And so they're digging down deeply, not just into the science of it, but also into the policy part of it to make sure they get it right for the future.
I mean, we were also shocked when this happened at the time, and we're still coming to terms, I guess, with how it could have happened. We heard from the lead engineer on the project that testing and safety measures were sacrificed to speed things up. I mean, that sounds pretty damning.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Stockton Rush, as I mentioned to you last year, was a friend. He's a Princeton aerospace engineer, flight test engineer for the F-15. He was a commercial pilot at 15. He did a lot of successful dives in the past. But when we transition from exploration to tourism, then the risk needs to be mitigated by increased safety measures. And it appears maybe that didn't happen.
And I guess that puts into question the future, really, of private undersea exploration more generally. Where do you stand on it? I mean, should it be allowed?
I think it should be allowed, and I think I think future undersea exploration is going to be very strong, continue to be very strong. But there'll be some extra safeties put in there, just like when you have airplane accidents and other transportation accidents. You look at the mistakes that were made and you don't repeat them again, or at least you try not to. And some of those are policies, laws, procedures, and some of those are technical in answer.
But this is, I mean, this is very different, isn't it? We're talking about a completely different environment with a whole set of challenges. It's a big risk. I mean, to imagine going down there again as a tourist, that's hard to fathom.
Well, it is a huge risk. You're absolutely right about that. And when you look at the significant pressures of being in the water 2 miles down, the idea of having 30 to 40 elephants sitting on your head, that's kind of the pressure you're talking about. And a simple failure, a very small failure, can be catastrophic very quickly. And so you're absolutely right on that point. That said, the only way we move forward in our science and our technology is to keep looking, but make sure that we don't repeat the same mistakes again.
And then imagine paying millions for that privilege, William. It's a different world, if you ask me.
Sure, it is a different world for sure.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.
However you want to waste your money.